Well, maybe the stream will start one day. There it goes. Well, maybe the stream will start one day. And there's the sound, so I can mute that over there. And put my links in the chat. Again, the plan is to start this show at 7 Central, 8 Eastern Time, but I started early. What up, A9? Not early for Anon. But I just thought, again, can't wait to get into it. You know, I can't wait to run my mouth. And so just kind of talking while I put my links in the chat. But, yeah, since I only get to do 1 or 2 after shows a month now, I might actually start doing Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money twice a week now, because as you'll see, there's tons of Reddit questions. So getting the content will be no problem. And then I just have to say, well, of course it's not working out right for you because you didn't follow the baby steps. So that's how my show has been characterized. All right, let's see. So, oh, doing it wrong. Now, why do I have that at the bottom like that? I don't know why the bottom of the stream is like that, with that black layer on it. I'm gonna have to look into that. All right. But I'll give my plugs and then we'll get going here. Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That is a video conferencing appointment, so you can do that from anywhere in the whole wide world or beyond, as long as you have internet there. That's a video conferencing appointment. I already said that part. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Channel donation, go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Or if you don't want to sign up for the PayPal, you can just send me a Walmart gift card to CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. And we get rid of that. Okay, get rid of the Streamlabs stream and go just straight to the browser now. So I'm looking exactly at what you guys are looking at. So I'm going to scroll down and show you that, yes, Oak Island is where I get most of the views, as you can see. But I still do other things, like I've been playing Tomb Raider lately, the 2006 game Legend. A little bit of PC Building Simulator, and of course the after show that I did twice recently, because I did on I did it on Christmas Day and January 1st and January 3rd, and so a rare time where there were so many shows together, and so I started doing the Reddit questions backwards to try to ensure that I would get all of them and have enough for all the shows, but I guess it wasn't as much shows happening as I thought. This show, Ramsey Coach, excuse me. So many shows with similar names. But anyway, the music playlist, as you can see, have songs about Rachel Cruz, George Camel, a Lifestyle Creep song that was recently given a 10 out of 10 out of a commenter The Baby Stepping song, which was the second Baby Step song. Jade Warshaw song. The original version of the Rachel Cruz song, which was just one verse and one chorus. On the end here is the full-length version. The John Deloney song. And, of course, the original Dave Ramsey Baby Step song. So give those a listen if you're interested. And, of course, 361 editions of the Ramsey Show After Show. I used to be able to do it every day after each Ramsey show, every weekday, Monday through Friday. But can no longer do that. Changed jobs. So can't do that. Alrighty, so I think that's all I have to do. Anon thinks something's funny. Okay, so Google Finance. Normally I don't like talk about stuff or have stories, but I found one news story that I want to talk about in a second. But I thought I'd talk about the market second because I heard from a couple people in the Ramsey Show chat today, and some, this week, and then somebody else said something to me about it. Like, and they're people that have just started investing. And so let's go with the S&P 500 because that's a good barometer for the market and a good barometer for the 10% or so that you should be expecting from your investments. And so, as you can see, it ended up being up on Friday, but the past 5 days, as you can see, oh, come on, where is it? Yeah, I need a soundboard instead of having to play YouTube clips. There we go. So that's the 5 days, and that music is how these people were feeling. And they're like, oh, my investments aren't been making any money. And they just started investing. Let's see, I think the past month was up, though. Look, see, that's not bad. See, you can't go by just 5 days. You cannot go by that because guess what? That seems fine to me, acceptable for a month. That seems acceptable for 6 months. The year-to-date is going to be bad because the year-to-date is basically just this again. Oh, no, it's not. It's the past. It's the year-to-date is, oh, the 5 day. Yeah, so pretty much the same because today's the 6th. So the year-to-date is going to be bad because we're only on a January 6th. But the year, I will take that for a year, 20.69%. And of course, the 5 year, 80.92%. So I will take that. And so that's the problem. See, if you just look at this, you're looking at it like a day trader. You're trying to time the market and buy it here and then sell it there. Well, no, you're not going to do that. You're saving for retirement. So hopefully you've started young enough where it can be 20 at least, hopefully 30 or more years. And so then that's going to look more like that. From what is it? 30 years is what, 23. So if we go from 93, that would be back here, 93 to 23, and that's that kind of growth there. So chin up, little campers. I know you just started and it's rough when you have that problem. Let's see, let's go to the 5 years so I can tell you my story on this. I think I started investing about right in here somewhere. And so, you know, just cruising right along. It dipped a little here and I kept buying. And then it got all the way up to here and I was like, okay, this investing stuff isn't so bad. And then the pandy crash. But guess what? I bought here and here and here and here and here and here, here and here and here and here and here. And very soon it was up to a new high. And guess what? All this that I bought in here, on sale. And then it continued to go up to a new high. And then the inflation or pandy crash, whatever you want to call this that happened. And that's all on sale too, because it is always going to come back. as we almost, actually, I think we were on the S&P. I think we did hit a new high, and then it went back down again. 769. Yeah, 4769 right there. Oh wait, no, that's 4769. That's 4766. So yeah, it did hit a new high. That may have been intraday. No, these would be end of day. These numbers on December 29th. So we did hit a new S&P 500 high. So again, try not to look at small periods of time like that and go, oh no. I mean, even in the grand scheme of things, even where's that pandy crash? Right there. See, you look at the whole history there. Oh, look at the 5-year. So in the 5-year, you can see more. So, I mean, that's not even that bad. That is a really quick recovery. And then now that's not bad again for a recovery either. That's what, December 29th, 2023 from December 30th. So 2 years. 2 years, babe. All right. That is from a movie called She's Having a Baby. John Hughes. Kevin Bacon. Alrighty. So did I finish everything I wanted to talk about here? Yes. Okay. And so this story I thought was interesting from New York Post. I'm a millionaire. Here's the one thing all rich people do with their money. Taylor _ money _ That's, you know, I mean, I'm Coach Steve Money. I can't say anything about his little handle there. So, you know, that's the way it goes. But he said there's one thing that rich people do is they see the function of their money for what it is actually meant to be. And what he says is poor people think money exists to pay bills and keep themselves out of debt. They work for someone Monday through Friday. They exchange their time for money, and then they give it to someone else. Great way to scrape by life and never get ahead. Middle class people use money as a way to build credit so that they can buy bigger houses, bigger boats, bigger cars, whatever. Adding that that's not the function of money. He said, instead he said, rich people know the function of money is expansion, to use the money that you make to make more money. So he said, rich people expect every single dollar they have to make them more money. So that's just something to think about. All right. Ramsey baby steps. There's 7 of them. 7 listed. There's other ones. Step 0, which contains a lot of things like get current on your bills, get insurances in place. The 4 walls, which are shelter, food, transportation, clothing. And my pal Sid likes to add internet in that since everything's done on the internet. So I'll let her have that one. What else is in the step 0? Oh, probably the most important one is that's where you decide, yeah, debt, I'm not doing that anymore, except maybe to buy a house that I live in. And so otherwise, that's not an option for me anymore. And so that's one of the most important things about step 0. The other one that's not on here is step 3B, which is saving for a down payment. And one of these days I'll make a video about the missing baby steps. Okay, so you could just follow these steps and probably do all right. What this list doesn't tell you is step 1, 2, and 3 are done one at a time. So you do not save more than $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. You do, on step 2, once you have the $1,000, you do pay off all debt except the house using debt snowball, which is smallest amount to largest amount, not of payment, but of the amount you owe. And it doesn't say while you're doing that, also build your full emergency fund. It doesn't say to do that. It doesn't say invest either. So if you're already investing, you should stop it while you get all that debt paid off faster. And then you can put more into investing later. Step 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. And a lot of people ask, well, how much should it be? Nobody knows except you, because you know the 3 to 6 months. You know how, where in that amount of time that you feel comfortable. If you are, especially if you're single, if you have no job or life drama, 3 months is fine. If you have job or life drama, or if you have a family, or you are getting ready to buy a house, you definitely want 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund before you buy a house. So that would happen even before you do the down payment. Alrighty, in steps 4, 5, and 6, you do also in order, but all at the same time. You first invest 15% of your household income, gross household income, into retirement. In step 5, if you have kids and if you want to help them with college, that would be where you address that. And a lot of people get hung up on that. They say, oh, well, do I need to max it out, max the investing out for the year at 15% before I start doing 5 and 6? No, you don't. You put 15% of each paycheck into investing. That's how you do that. And save for kids' college. Do I need to have all $100,000, $200,000 saved before I can pay the house off early? No, you just begin addressing it by however much you need to save per month to get to the amount that you want to have by the time they're 17 or 18 or 19, whenever they are going to go to the college. And so you put the 15% here, you address this as you need to, and then any leftover money would be going to pay off the house early. And then step 7, build wealth and give, and that one is eternal. That lasts forever and ever, and you can do pretty much anything you want to during that time except go into a lower baby step. The only acceptable baby step to go into that's lower, you should still be investing probably more than 15% at this point, but the only acceptable baby step to, and so that never ends either, unless you need the money for retirement and can't afford to invest any longer because you're taking out the money and using any income, Social Security or whatever, you're using that to live on in retirement. But the only acceptable one is to go, like maybe you think you need a new house. You're on step 7. Buy a new house if you want to. That's fine. And in that case, you might be back on 3B, which is save for down payment. So you might be saving for a down payment, but you get the down payment saved, you buy the new house, and then you're back on step 6. Alrighty. So I'll keep this, as always, I'll keep this up, phrasing, and so I can refer back to it from the questions. Alrighty, so good. Last week when I did this, or was it on Wednesday on the after show? I can't remember, but I scrolled down to where I had left off, and then it had gone back to the top for some reason. I don't know why. All right, from Zazek 2022. Oh, this is reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. Normally we sort by new and go, but this time I sorted by new and went down to the bottom. So I'm going backwards for a little while. I might eventually start going from the most recent ones again once I get caught up more. We'll see. Zazek 22, not 2022. And so this is not run by Ramsey Solutions. If you want a group that's run by Ramsey Solutions, that would be on the Facebook, and that would be the Ramsey Baby Steps Community is the name of that one. If it is called anything else other than that, it is not a run by Ramsey Solutions. There are many Ramsey groups on the Facebook, including, last I knew of, there were at least 3 Ramsey dating groups. I checked them out, and I checked 2 of them out, and there were tons of married people in them. So I do not get that, and they weren't trying to meet anybody or date anybody. They were just in there, I guess, for the Ramsey-ishness of it. Not Ramsey-ish, but the Ramsey-esqueness, shall we say. Alrighty, debt in collections. I have a small medical debt that is in collections that I wasn't getting the letters and didn't know about from when I lived with my parents. Props to this person for not saying when I lived at home, because yeah, you don't live there anymore, so it's not your home. They were getting the letters, and I don't go there as much as I used to. Checks out so far. Either way, I finally got the letter from my mom, because it's the holidays. It's the holiday season, and it says contact in 30 days or we'll sue you, which they haven't yet, even though it's been a few months. I can't get in contact till the end of the holidays, but if I call, why can't you? Isn't it the end of 15 days ago? Oh, my bad. This is before Christmas and New Year's, so okay. I get it. Till the end of the holidays, but if I call, I mean, why couldn't you? Why can't you? Do you have to be back where you live? You don't want to do that while you're with your parents and deal with it during the holidays, which might be a good call, which I'll talk about in a second. But if I call and try to pay, then they won't be able to try and, it's try to, not try and, sue me just because I was late, correct? All they would be suing for is what I was giving them. Anybody can sue anytime they want to. That's just America. So, a lot of times, as you can see, they said contact in 30 days or we'll sue you, and they haven't sued you. Collections people have been known to tell a fib or two. And so, contact in 30 days or we'll sue you. It normally doesn't get to that part because, you know, they figure you couldn't pay the bill. You probably don't have enough to, you know, for them to sue you for anyway. And so, generally not worth it, I would think. And so they just try to get the most money they can from you. But because of that, you can pretty much let them sit for a long time. And then the longer they sit without you getting money for them, the more likely you can talk them down as far as negotiating the amount. And Dave often says pennies on the dollar. And so you can see what you can do about that as far as that. And if you're paying off other debt, the collections debt would wait until the current debt is all paid off. And as far as, you know, credit score, you don't have to worry about that. A, we don't care about credit score. B, if you have stuff in collections, it's your credit score is already in the toilet then. Which a guy named Dylan apparently in the Ramsey Show chat is into. Barbacoa 114. That's Spanish for barbecue. Baby step 2, Flair, want to get rid of the debts. Well, that's the idea behind baby step 2. I have the emergency fund of $3,000. I also have two paid off vehicles. A 13-foot F-150 and a 01 Lexus ES300. I'm debating whether, not if, I should sell the Lexus and put that towards my debt. Probably. I mean, a 01 vehicle. In the 13 vehicle, they shouldn't, they're probably not out of bounds, but if you can sell them and get a cheaper car, unless you're single and they're both your cars, why do you need a F-150 and a Lexus? Why would you need that? At least all the small ones, right, to eliminate all the miscellaneous, $100 every month, and contribute that money saved to the Odyssey loan. I don't know what Odyssey is. Oh, is that another vehicle? Or is that the F-150? No, that's not, no. I don't know what the Odyssey loan is there. Odyssey, $33,000. That sounds like another car. Isn't that a Honda? Let's take a look at that. Odyssey. Need the Redditor to Steve Dictionary to figure this stuff out sometime. I don't know how to spell that. There we go. Odyssey vehicle. Honda Odyssey van. So this is an entirely different thing that he did not mention separately on cars and just brought it up in the end. And I'll just leave that up in case we need another page for searching again. Yeah, put towards my debt, blah, 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 and money. Contribute that money saved to something I didn't bring up until now. So yeah, so apparently that's a $33,000. That would be approved to sell the Lexus and pay off, put that money towards the Odyssey loan. Or here's a thought. Sell the freaking Odyssey. Or did you have one kid and now you need a minivan? I've been a Dave fan for a few years now, still trying to get the budget and thing down. Well, I mean, that can take a couple months, you know, maybe even 3 months, give yourself, but a few years, you should have it down by now. So a lot of times when people say they're having trouble with the budget, that doesn't necessarily mean they're having trouble planning the budget, but the problem is that they don't stick to it. And so that's a you problem. You have to look in the mirror and say, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. That's for all you T-Swizzle fans out there. I know there's a lot. So yeah, so you just gotta decide you're gonna stick to it and do that. Didn't mention a bride or any type of relationship where that was involved, but this is 3 cars, babe. 3 cars for just you, and you have other debts apparently. Let's see. Credit card's $164.51. Pay that off today. Per loan, $16.10. Best Buy for $2K for something. All right. You know what you could do? You could sell whatever you bought from Best Buy for that. Maybe a nice computer or something like that. You'd hate to get rid of that, but you know. And you can do, you know, if you can sell the car, you can sell the computer too. And just do without it. All right, mortgage, I don't know what that is. Morgetta. Don't know what that means. Oh, era underscore mortgage. I don't know what that means. If my company will pay off my student loans, should I still aggressively pay it off? Dave would say yes. Because you're not waiting on that, because guess what? You might not be working there by the time they would pay it off. Let's see if they're paying it off over time, because apparently they won't give you the money to just pay it off now. Up to $10K in student loans over 5 years, okay? Who says you're going to be there for 5 years? Each year they make slightly higher payments. For example, the first year they pay $70 a month to the loan service, and the second year they pay $90 every month. I have $10K in student loan. Should I wait 5 years for my company to pay it off? Or should I still aggress, pay it off? Edit, I don't have other debts except for my credit card that I pay off every month. That's not a Dave thing to do either. I'm still contemplating the idea of getting rid of it. Well, you know, you get 231 comments and they managed to be civil enough where the thread did not get shut down. So congratulations, Redditors. You played nice. Appreciate it. So like I said, Dave's going to tell you to pay it off as soon as you can right now. If you're not going to do that to cover your butt, if you don't work there anymore, you could save up that amount and park it in a high yield savings account and just let that sit there until it's gone. And you can, reduce it every year if you want by the amount that the company pays. But again, the Dave advice would be you pay that off. You signed up for it, so you pay it off. And don't keep it around like it's a pet and have somebody else take care of it, which is basically what's happening there. Acura is not luxury, okay? That's coming in hot. People love their Hondas and Toyotas. Baby step, I don't care about cars. Baby step 4 flare here. That would be investing 15% of gross household income into retirement. Retirement contribution with a federal pension to include pension or not, plus baby step 3B. Okay, so they're going to want to saving for a mortgage down payment. And the pension. So the pension is not anywhere near as good as you investing in stuff you want to invest in that makes money. Debating on, let's see, early retirement 50, must retire by 57. Turning 25 years old in a few weeks. Still a baby, you got forever. So congratulations on having forever and being young and all that. Debating on whether or not, see, not on if, or not, include pension contributions to 15%. Dave says count it for half since it's not as good of an investment as even the S&P 500. The 3, possibly 2 avenues that contribute to this 15% are 5% contribution, traditional thrift savings plan, so that one, as well as if you're in a, that's right, federal job. So if you're in a TSP, the advice for that is 90% in C, what's called C in the TSP plan. And that is, C is basically S&P 500 index. And so that's going to be, that's the most money is in there because that's pretty much the best you can do. The S1 is, I think, mid cap, and so he says 10% for that as well. And then, what is it? It's CSI, so that's how you can remember it, just like a TV show. And the I is international, so 10% into that as well. So let's say 90. I meant 80. Yeah, 80 into C, and then 10% each in S and I for a TSP. And so, but that would be more in line, so you don't have to count the TSP as half. But you should still, he said, do the 5% contribution so you get the match. But then you should go to a Roth IRA because that's going to be a better investment than max that out. And then go back to, for any other investing money you have, go back to the TSP. Basically traditional 401k, right? But not as good. Treated as such tax rise, right? And just day one on the job. Also do the Roth TSP as well. It's always the same. Roth is going to be better because that's taxes on the contributions, and that way you don't have to pay taxes on the growth, which is going to be way more than the contributions, especially for the baby at 25 here that is going to have 25 years in investing. So that's the dealio on that. Let's see what the other numbers are here. He numbered them. Oh, he found the info on the website, basically. there's a match for this, right? Invest 5, get extra 4%. So yeah, you do the 5% first, and then you go to your Roth IRA that you open on your own. On your own, love. Okay, yeah, to a Roth thrift savings plan, right? That is what it says also in that same article that he found. So yes, so the Roth would be, so the number 2 right there. But then right after that 5%, then you would max out the Roth IRA on top of that. Because again, that's better than a TSP. The options in the TSP just aren't as good as ultimate options, which you should have in any good Roth IRA. So if you don't have options to invest in pretty much any mutual fund you want, then you are in the wrong brokerage or bank or something. Don't do it at a bank. I haven't, let's see, right after I have enough, and for down payment. I was starting this right after I have enough, and that's fine too. That's the split between baby step 3B, which is saving for a down payment, and 4, retirement. That option is up to you as far as the percentages of each, including what he's talking about, which is doing nothing in retirement. Dave will let you be off 3 years, and so you estimate to be 2 to 2.5, and so that fits into the 3-year plan. So that's all good. So you can take 3 years off of investing in order to save up for a larger down payment. It is allowed. It is approved. So that one's not going to be it, and one's not going to be. So the answer is 2. That's the winning sound from the Price is Right. I do have that queued up too, in case we need it. My questions are: do I just do as what is above, 4.9%, and to essentially get a I don't see that. Are you doing? Oh, no. No. You open just the Roth thrift savings plan. They probably have to open another one because you can't put a Roth match into a Roth account. You have to put it into a regular account. So just let the match go into the other account, and you take your next whatever to the max on the Roth IRA. So this little plan is incorrect here as far as he put some thought into it though. So props for that. It's good to think about, but you're doing it wrong. Keeping the traditional at 5% regardless, since match beats Roth. Right, but you can get the match by putting the 5% into the Roth thrift savings plan account. Unless the government has different options for it, because if you put money into a Roth 401k, you still get the match from every company that offers a match, but they can't put it in the Roth, they have to put it in the traditional. So that doesn't count, and match is group based. The words is gravy on the biscuit. That's just extra investing. You don't count that as part of your 15%. So you do 5% there, and then whatever percent that maxes out the limit of the personal Roth IRA account that you open yourself at any brokerage. And then if you have more percentage left over after you've maxed out the Roth IRA for the year, then you go back to your Roth thrift savings plan. Let's see, for baby step 3B, I am overthinking what Churchill will, am I over what they will require? I have enough money for a down payment. I'll have, for very quick, as I'll have practically 0 bills during my training, and my rent will only be 25 in net post-training, 0 debt currently, and we'll keep it that way. Excellent. My bill history will rank, utilities and insurance, that's fine. No phone bill per se, as I have Mint and pay yearly. Props, I have that as well. Very, very economical. Been thinking about me mailing this in as the answers will help others in my situation too. Sorry for the long post. 12 comments. You have some things incorrect. Message me for more info because I don't have time. I'm doing a stream, so I don't have time to type the entire thing that I just said. Maybe I'll just send him this clip. And then I can get watch time. How about that? But if he messages me, I'll just tell him probably. Let's see, one hot mess to go. All right. Who doesn't like a hot mess? Interruptions. Am I the only one that thinks it's annoying they keep interrupting their guest on the phone call before they get a chance to explain their story or even talk over them? Well, so you see, Dave has been doing the show for 30 years, so he knows how to do it, right? You understand they're on a time limit, and some talk over to mention about we're on the clock, right? And also they don't answer the questions that the host asks. So, I mean, that's going to happen on a call-in talk show. So everybody thinks they know how to run the show better. Broad_ant_3871. Question about student loans. Pay them off. Sign for them, pay them off. Hello, everyone. My payment is $345 a month. I throw $2,000 at the principal every month. Excellent. Does that help with interest? Yes. Does it lower interest? It doesn't lower the percentage of the interest, but it lowers the amount of the interest because the balance is lower. Or is that just at the principal? Yeah, you're lowering the principal. So then when the principal is lowered, that's a smaller amount that's multiplied by the interest rate and then giving you the interest that you're charged every month. All right. So let's see, 8 comments there. Hopefully they set them straight. That's fair. I think most people have a handle on that, how that works. Odd minutes. 1, 2, 3. Anyone else feel like they are lost? Like a ship that used to tide me over. What is that? Is that Heat of the Moment? Yeah. Asia. 1980s. Check it out. Band is Asia. It's a super group, meaning guys that were in previous other bands got together and formed Asia. Anyone else feels like they're lost? I feel like this stage in life, I feel like for me, approaching mid-30s, I'm just floundering. Oh, that's not fun. 30s. We talk about the American dream being no longer on this subreddit a lot, and I feel like it's true. I don't know, maybe I'm just down in the dumps. I just feel like I've worked myself to the bone and I'm burnt out trying to get ahead. 1 kid under the age of 2, married. Husband and I were debt free except for our mortgage until we had our son and needed to replace a car. Big whoop. But what I'm getting at is that I know what it's like to work hard. Okay, I paid off $80K of student loans. Great. Husband and I both work full time. Son goes to daycare, which is where all my money goes. If all of your money is going there, then don't do that. Stay home and try to do any other kind of work you can from home, or once your husband gets home, and you watch your son instead of having him go to daycare. I don't know why people do that. Work to just pay the daycare bill. I don't know why you would do that. Illogical captain. On top of my full-time job and 1-hour commute each way. You cannot go to that. You cannot do that. You cannot do that job anymore. That's ridiculous. and also work a side job just to get ahead. That is ridiculous. How can people work and all of their money could be exaggerated? They could be exaggerating. It could be only, maybe it's only 3/4, but that's still, I would still not work for 75% of my pay to go to daycare. I would not. I would be able to make up the other 25% somehow. But I do not feel like I'm gonna. I just feel I'm treading water. I'm not saving any money. We live pretty frugal. No cable, only one streaming. No going out to eat. If we live frugally, I'd be eating canned vegetables. Okay, what does that mean? I mean, if there's stuff you can cut it out still. Doesn't even feel like this. Any suggestions how to feel like edit on 12/27. What day was that posted? It doesn't say what day it was posted, but let's see. 14 days ago was 6 and 8. 31 minus 8 is 23. So 4 days later, thank you all for coming. Impressed how helpful internet strangers have been. Will help me sort through this and provide meaning and encouragement. Thank you. Excellent. Well, hopefully they had some of those same points that I did. There could be, I mean, once you start getting like sick and tired of something, and you just, start complaining about it, then maybe you could miss some things that you could cut out, and maybe you miss realizing that you shouldn't be 1 hour commuting each way. That's 2 hours a day and all that gas to go to the full-time job where all the money is used to pay daycare. Ridiculous. Alrighty, Insight Discern. Mint users are recommend Monarch. Yeah, a bunch of people. I've not heard of Monarch ever. YNAB, You Need a Budget is another app there. Of course, Dave would recommend Every Dollar. Affectionate Host 37, switch from Roth 401k to traditional. Why would you do that? Again, 32 years old, so likely will have 30 years in the market. Why would you do that? Your growth is going to be exponentially higher than the contributions. So pay tax on the contributions. For the year of 2020 salary, my salary, 90K before taxes. I've been saving money on a Roth IRA. What does that mean? In a Roth 401k, probably. For 2024, I'll be making 110 before taxes. So I switched to traditional. Why would you do that? Why would you think? I don't understand why the 59 comments. I don't know why you would think that making 20K more a year changes the type of investment account you should have. Don't know. So again, basically the difference between them is that you can on a Roth, you pay interest, you pay taxes on the contributions. So that's not that much per month. And then when you go to withdraw them, if you have a traditional, you don't pay taxes on that, but then you do have to pay taxes on the other end, and per month you're going to be losing much more in taxes when you're in retirement, the exact time you don't want to be losing money because you aren't working anymore and you only have your growth to live on. So why wouldn't you want that to be not taxed? Ridiculous. All this stuff isn't the easiest stuff to understand, but people really must not understand. So, and it would be great if it would say, should I switch to a traditional 401k? Here's why I think I should, because blah, blah, blah. And that would really help. That would make it a lot easier to give advice. And then, of course, you could, if he called, then you could ask him if he didn't avoid the question. But then you could just interrupt him and make Redditors mad that are watching this show. Was the Baby Steps app removed from the App Store? I don't think so. Not that I know of. It refused to take credit cards. Baby Steps look integrated in the Financial Peace app. Really? Available on Google Play. Apple Store, I believe, but don't use the app. Confirm. Baby Steps are now integrated into every dollar. Isn't that what he was talking about? Oh, the Baby Steps app. Okay, all right. So yeah, they just integrated both, which is probably a good idea. Alrighty, MW2 Playa. Modern Warfare 2, maybe? Playa. What are you doing, Playa? Where does car or health insurance fit in the baby steps? At what step would you get car or health insurance if working the baby steps? And that's one of the things that is just not here. And that's because it's baby step 0. Getting insurances in place is part of baby step 0. You do that even before starting to save the $1,000. Again, forthcoming video on the missing baby steps. Alrighty then. Poseidon with the spear going through it, I guess. How much time would it take to pay off $24K in debt with a $60K a year salary? Okay, well, see, we don't know what your other expenses are. We don't know what you're willing to do to sacrifice to pay off money. So to complete my last year of university, I'll need another $12K in federal student loans on the top of the same amount I got for you. My career path has a starting annual salary of $60K. Any advice? Yeah, to not take out any more student loans. If you're already paying on student loans now, you don't have to because you're still in school. Don't do that and just save up to pay the next semester, and maybe do a little thing we like to call work, and a little thing called work more, and a little thing called work more, and scholarships and grants. And so, again, if you're going to follow the baby steps, part of baby step 0 is where you decide you're not going to do loans anymore, not going to do debt anymore, not even for university. Early Plankton, 9015, tax payments. Just listen to one episode where I think it was Jay told the person to move their THEIR IRS payment to a credit card because the rates would be better. I don't know anything about that. What? How do I figure out what my interest rate is on IRS, or what's the good move there? I getting hit with interest and late fees for having a payment plan. Yeah, probably, because you're not paying it. You're not paying it before it was due, so it's late. So you do have penalties and interest on that. Yes. So the idea is to pay taxes on time. I don't know about Jade saying to move the IRS payment to a credit card. I don't know anything about that. Let's just take a look at the comments and see. IRS rates around 8%. Credit cards would be more. Yeah. Jade doesn't know what she's talking about. Should stick with the plan. Makes sense to prioritize, but not doing it in a stupid way and put in. Number 1 priority, pay IRS debt, right? Is 8% this year. Credit cards are 5 above that, yeah. So I don't know. That's evaluated quarterly. Someone's quarters, it stays the same though. Alright, so nobody's saying, yeah, they heard her say that. So I do not know, but just pay them off. Should have had them paid off before, but now just stick to the payment plan. Pay it off faster if you can. If they'll let you. Sometimes they might not even let you, and they might want to get all that penalty and interest. European uppercut. Income now exceeds Roth IRA limit. Congratulations. Where should I put extra money now? Advisor recommend index life insurance. But, of course, the advisor recommended that because they get more money if you put money in that. Not sure if I can trust a financial advisor whose services are offered for free by the bank I'm using. Right. I mean, anybody that sells that crap, I mean, that's whole life insurance. So anybody that sells that crap, if they understand it completely, they know it's garbage. Let's see. All I ever heard about life insurance was to run, except for term life insurance. That's not like true for all situations. Universal life insurance would be a hybrid between whole and term, and allows growth linked to no markets without risk to principal. Yeah, it's still bullcrap. So no, term life. And so what does that have to do with, oh, because he's wondering about in investing. You can do a backdoor Roth every year, up to the limit of a new Roth IRA account every year. And beyond that, high yield savings account. I mean, high deductible, what is it called? Health savings account. For if you have a high deductible, which you should, insurance, you can do a health savings account and then pay for health expenses out of there, and then that also is can be an investment. And then if you don't use the money for medical stuff, eventually you can take it out. Joel R, 1981, 15-year mortgage. I live in California and believe most people can't do a 15-year mortgage. Well, if they live in California and they can't do a 15-year mortgage, guess what? That means they probably need to move to America instead of stay in California. Wages have nowhere near kept up with these house prices. F is doing a 15-year term. Well, probably people that don't live in California. It's not common sense's fault that you live in Taxifornia. So you can afford a 15-year mortgage. Even in California, you can afford one if you make California money. If you live in a high cost of living area, you have to make high cost of living money. And of course, not living in Taxifornia helps with the amount of income. Swag King 1011. Should I pay off my student loan debt before buying a house? Yes, that would be baby step 2. The house is saving down payment for a house is baby step 3B. So yes, according to this, it's got a nice graphic here. It's laid out there. I mean, granted, it doesn't say buy a house here, save up for down payment, and then buy a house here. Granted, it doesn't. But that's the design of the plan. And so, sorry that doesn't say that on that picture for you. $50K a year. So yeah, also in addition to that, just so you know as well, so they need a before buying a house section right here where they explain not only have all your debt paid off, but also have a 6-month emergency fund as well before you buy a house. Because you do not want to have a house if you have no full emergency fund. Because guess what? If something breaks and you call the landlord, guess what? Your phone is going to ring and you're going to be on the end of it saying, oh, something broke. Yeah, you're going to have to fix that. Alrighty, Victoria. I don't know if there's any Victoria songs. There's Valerie by Stevie Winwood. Valerie, call me, call on me. 80s again, I believe. Baby step 3, sometimes the decades just all merge together. Baby step 3, flare here, emergency savings, kids fund. Okay, so my husband and I currently do not have any debt. All credit cards are paid off. Excellent. We have a boot. 2 months emergency fund saved, or our money. What does that mean? What does that mean? So since I got pregnant with my toddler, family's been giving us cash gifts, which we save for the kids and have not touched. Oh, I see what you're saying. Should we use their money to put in our emergency fund? Yes. Anything given to kids you can use to make the kids' lives better, which includes you having a full emergency savings, and then you can turn around and later funnel that back to them either through gifts or the same amount of cash in some kind of account for them or something like that. Which save for kids and have not touched. Should we use their money to put in our emergency fund? Yes, or use the money to start their college fund. Get your emergency fund first and then address step 5 in step 5. Do step 3 first. Again, baby steps in order. Always. Just like the force will be with you. Always. We have 2 investment accounts. You're doing it wrong under their names already, which we did $1K each and another one for my husband and I. I know it isn't much, but we were planning on putting all of their money in their accounts. Well, why didn't you do that already? I'm wondering, but maybe you didn't know what to do with the money. But yeah, Dave is fine with you putting any money. This includes like child support or anything like that. Because guess what? You are the one supporting the child. So the child support can go to you and be used for your emergency fund or paying off debt or anything else, since you are supporting the child. And not necessarily support payments, but you are actually supporting the child. What would be the best thing to do in this case? Total bills, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you can use the money. And then if you have a full emergency fund and then you start investing, I'm sure they'll get it back tenfold over the course of their life. I have no doubt about that. JT, a lot of people feel guilty about if they do that. To the Mac. Retirement alternative investing. What? My 401k matches 3% at 6% contribution. Okay, is in a Vanguard. People love to mention their brokerages. Target Retirement Fund. All the brokerages are the same, really. I picked Fidelity because I like their website interface the most. I was thinking about just upping to 12% plus 3% match for 15%. Yeah, it doesn't work like that for 15% because you don't count the match ever. You need to have 15% skin in the game, according to Mr. Ramsey. Would it be elsewhere versus the fees of my 401k? Yeah, a Roth IRA. Also, my wife maxed out on her simple IRA. You can have a 401k and a Roth IRA, and after the match, the Roth IRA in excellent managed mutual funds is going to be your best investment option. But only matching 3%. Manage it for her and her employees. Okay, so there's a match there. So matches are gravy on the biscuit, as I said. They're just extra. So you need to do 15% of your hard-earned money. We make a little too much for Roth IRA. You can do a backdoor Roth every year. And so if it's only a little bit too much, you probably don't have that much extra anyway, so you wouldn't max that amount per year. I believe it is 6,500 if you're under 50 this year for the Roth IRA. So again, how you do that, the back door is you open up a traditional IRA and then you put the max amount in it, 6,500, and then you convert it to a Roth before you buy any mutual funds. Let's see. So that's what you should do. Where and how else should I invest in money? So yeah, you can do the back door. Roth, you can do HSA, health savings account, and use that for medical expenses, and that you can invest inside the HSA as well. Mountain Wind 4401, seeking financial advice, paying off cars or investing extra cash. Let's refer back to the baby steps. Paying off cars. Oh, this part says pay off. Wait, where does it say you should start investing? Wait. Oh, right there. Oh, and that's after step 2. So, no, I guess it must be pay off the loans first. So 12 comments, I bet at least 4 told. Let's just see. I bet at least 4 told him to invest and keep the loans. Let's see. Let's see if my faith in humanity can be sell both cars and get a beater, then use extra money to invest. You would, if they're your only debt, then you would have your debt fully paid off, and then you would save a full emergency fund before investing. If you were following the Ramsey plan, there you go. So this one, maybe. This one is a half a point for good. This one's a full point for good, so 1.5, 2.5. Oh, no, it doesn't count because it went twice for some reason. I don't know how that happens sometimes. Deliver. So we got to subtract 1 because one in the same post got posted twice one time. So that's still 0.5. And so now you need to deliver yourself. Deliver yourself, I think it's supposed to be. So start paying off the cars, buying a house with your dad was stupid, but you're stuck in that. Okay, that must have been way down here somewhere. Oh, he says it right there. Yeah, so yeah, you don't buy a house with anybody you're not married to. In my culture, it's common to have joint families. Well, I wonder how often in your culture there are issues with families owning the same thing. So, yeah, let's see. So, well, I went off in a different tangent there, but a lot of what you've already done deviates from Dave's plan, like all of it. This is a Ramsey sub, so a point for that one. So was that 2.5 now? 3.5, 4.5. Okay, so there we go, 4.5. It's relevant in that he cannot afford the house, indeed. So, all right, 5.5. My faith in humanity and in heredity is confirmed. How about that? Hey, Peter _ES. What's the max commute time recommended? Minutes? The answer is as low as you can get it. For gas and for time, that's time out of your life. That's less time sleeping, less time doing fun stuff, etc., etc. So as low as you can get it. If it's really great pay, then that's up to you to try to balance life and job and commute time. True _ mention _4539. What up, Matty Bags? What is this called? Hi, folks. I hope everyone had a great holiday. As we all know, Dave Ramsey wants us to have 3 to 6 months saved for emergencies, correct? That we do all know. Well, I don't think all of us know that, but some of us. In addition, I want to have 3 months worth of daily living expenses saved to just be ahead and leave that in a high yield savings account. What would that be called if I don't classify it for emergencies? That would be called not following Dave's advice. That one was so good it made me cough. It means you're doing whatever you want to do, so what does it matter what anybody else thinks about it? Burr 3-2 mortgage and credit score. Now the difference would be if you were going to have I mean 3 months worth is a little much, but like if you had a I mean, what are you going to use it for? If you had like a set thing, like I'm going to save for tires, that would be called a sinking fund. And so that definitely is encouraged because you know you're going to need tires at some point, and so you're allowed to start setting money aside for those tires. And that is how you do life when you don't want to use a credit card for stuff. So, but just to say, I want to have 3 months worth of daily living expenses just in case I want to spend 3 months worth of daily living expenses. So, but other than that, you should not have more than 6 months of expenses saved until you are on baby step 7. So that's called not following Dave's advice. Bird 32, mortgage and credit score. For those of you with no credit score who financed a mortgage via manual underwriting, do you, once securing the loan, begin to have a credit score again until after paying it off? Logic would say yes, but I haven't been through that process yet. Yes, you do. Borrowing and paying back money does bump credit score up. Yes. So you're not here trying to build credit, but it does happen anyway because that's just the way the system works. Modern Warfare 2 Playa again. Actually, yeah, this is again newer because I'm going backwards. Phrasing. What portion of your income should go towards rent, mortgage, a car, fund, and investments? There's not a percentage of that. Heard Ramsey mention this a few times on his show. Does anyone know? Percentage of your income, you buy a car cash, and that is everything you own with motors in it and wheels on it. Everything combined should be no more than 50% of your income, and you pay cash for it. No loans. Rent mortgage should be 25% of your take-home pay. Less would be better. Fun, whatever you budget in the fun for the fun category in your budget. Investments, 15% for retirement investing. 15% of your gross household income should go to that. And again, depends on what step you are. If you have debt, you're not doing investing. If you're on step 7, if you have no debt and you're on step 7, you can even do over the 15%. But until your house is paid off in step 6, if you have one, then you would not be investing more than 15%. Maybe check out the baby steps again, playa. I thought he had a handle on it before, I think. I don't remember him not having a handle on it from the previous question. Boogster, or is it Boogster 91? Baby step 4, a 401a question. I'm curious if I should be putting away extra 15% off 401a with my employer, union electricity. 100% employer funded 401 brokerage account, which deposited $52K this year, and I'm at $352K total. 52 does not come out of my 170K. This account is in my name, and I currently have about 10K option to invest it. If that didn't come out of your check, if that you said it's 100% employer funded, then that is just gravy on the biscuit. Again, Dave wants you to have 15% in the game, so the answer is yes. It wouldn't be an extra, it would be the only 15% happening, because any matches, any freebies do not count. Let's see, the account is in my name. I currently have about 10K options to invest in. What does that mean? 10,000 options to invest in. I got you. So much harder has me in multiple mutual funds, following Dave Ramsey principle. I also am 32 and plan to retire at 55. Do I really need to add that extra 15%? Yeah, you should do 15%. Any match, any employer putting a 5,200 or 52K in it a year, that's gravy on the biscuit, and that means you'll be great in retirement. Get actualized. High yield savings rate is higher, than the interest rates of my last remaining student loans. Doesn't matter. Pay off the loans. Loans are a risk. Pay them off. Don't try to outmath it. The idea is the behavior, and that's no debt. And you keeping around a debt to make what, 1%? 1% extra, and so you're going to keep the debt around to make 1%. It's your money. You can do that if you want to. That's not Dave's advice. K Drums 100. Anyone notice lack of emergencies with emergency fund? I don't think. Thank God I had money aside. I mean, it's knock on wood. I've not used the fund since saving up. Yeah. We didn't really have any either. I'm trying to think of a time. I mean, I feel like maybe dipped into it a little bit. I'm trying to remember what it would have been for, though. Like maybe something to get the car to run again or something like that. I can't recall what it was, but it wasn't that much. It was just a little bit, and then we built it back up. But yeah, I mean, that does happen, but also you do have people that do report they're like having to constantly, they got bad luck, and they constantly have to replenish the starter emergency fund. Are you talking about the entire emergency fund? Apparently, no, talking about just the $1,000 because they are paying on a loan there, yeah. Okay. And so they're also talking about they have had true emergencies, but they were able to cash flow them. So yeah, that's definitely what you should do. You, instead of using the money to out of the emergency fund, it's best to not touch that money at all if you can, in fact, cash flow it. Baby step 2, modification. People always want to modify it and adjust it, and we're doing it with a slight nuance. Let's see what we want to do here. Did you modify baby step 1? I'm wondering. Stay at home mom, husband loves to jump. What's the baby step 2 modification? Let's see. I have 5K in student loans. Husband has 10K. Okay. No other debt. Okay. Payments and interest are currently frozen due to low income, but we plan to pay mine first and finish in full come tax return time. Okay. First of all, you should not be getting a big tax return, because doing that just gives the government an interest-free loan for the year. If you got more money every week in your paycheck, then you could do better than that, than the government getting it and you just going, oh, I got a big pile of money at this time. If you want to have a big pile of money on April 15th, you can just get it in your check and you can save it and not spend it instead. Or instead of saving it and not spending it, you could just follow the baby steps with that extra money. instead. That would be my advice. And Dave's. Husband's new company will pay $50 every month towards his student loan, excuse me. We're usually able to save about $300 a month if we scrimp really hard. So I'm thinking about putting $150 towards his loans and making an even $200 after his company contributions and starting on baby step 3 simultaneously with the other $150 so we can build our emergency fund more quickly as a single income family. No. Nope. Nope. It doesn't say if you really want to go ahead and while you're paying off debt, increase the starter emergency fund. It doesn't say that anywhere in here. So that's going to be a no for me, dog. This person is not going to Hollywood. Your Huckleberry 2020 baby step 2 flare tax benefit to paying off student loan and other debt in 2023 versus 2024. Wife and I are planning to knock out all debt and get ahead with Ramsey's baby steps. Great, do that. We have 2 car payments plus 1 student loan plus mortgage. The student loan and car payments are all the exact same amount, so no one debt is smaller or larger than the others. Well, then you pick, and then that's when, if they are exactly the same. Oh, the payments don't matter. See, this is where, people, I don't know why they would think when it says paid off debt, smallest to largest, why they would think that means the payment. That does not mean the payment. So which amount that you owe is bigger, the student loan or the car, and that's the one that goes first. I don't know how people think that. I'm sure one of the 10 comments, or all of them, pointed that out to our Huckleberry there. Some people just don't get it. I got inane. Oh, I got in an entanglement. Okay, Will Smith shout out there. Debt free. I hear callers in the 30s and 40s. Oh, this is debt free flare. I hear callers in 30s and 40s paying off their home. I'm thinking, how? But it was 150 to 300K. What about us folks buying home 700K? Are you out there? Hey, don't buy a 700K home if you're going to be jealous of the people that only have 300K homes. You're jealous of them paying it off. They're not complaining about you buying a 700K home. So, because I would love to pay off my home early one day. So how did you do it? It's easy. You do not spend your money on other crap. Then you think single thing, you start to buy something. Oh, I want to go on that cruise. I want to go on that vacation. I want to buy this very expensive thing. I want to buy this car. You have to decide if you want that thing that you want right now, whatever it is. If you want that more than you want your house paid off. And then you make the decision. So it's up to you, and that's how you do it. Also, even though you have 700K car, and if you are, you didn't say you were in the, I'd love to turn 30 years to 20 years at least. Yeah, you should. Guess what? Because you shouldn't even have a 30-year mortgage in the first place. So if you could not afford the payment on a 15-year fixed mortgage, then you shouldn't have bought a 700K plus house anyway. So everything you're doing here is bad. From being jealous about people living within their means and asking how you did it. They paid it off. First they stayed within their means, and then they paid it off instead of spending money on crap that you're probably spending money on. 635 comments and not locked. How about that? Redditors all kind of being nice for a change. How about that? No trolls. This is from Consideration Key 4395. A new immigrant in Florida. I'm 25, new in Florida in U.S. Live here about 9 months ago. Bought a Toyota Yaris. Is the only debt I have. I'll give him a break because he's from out of town. And is for $100, APR 26%. And I earn about 2.5K a month. What should I do? Sell it. Sell it and buy a crappy car. Otherwise, work more, spend less, and pay it off. But generally, you would sell that one. Shouldn't be buying a new car in your situation. My advice would be, what should you do? It's called the baby steps. And if you speak Spanish, you can, oh gosh, I don't know what steps are. Baby is niño. Oh, what's his name? Andres Gutierrez used to work for Dave, and he teaches it in Spanish still. The FPU, he teaches the principles in Spanish still, and they still recommend him. Comprehensive Fan 6773. Need help deciding what to do with my truck. Hello, man. I'm a man. 2022, trying to figure out what to do with a few things. Moved to a new state with no family, straight out of Compton, straight out of high school, and started selling cars. Then you start selling bars. That's what was that? Rapper's Delight? No, not Rapper's Delight. What was that? Rapture. Gosh, by Blondie. Rapper's Delight is different. Sugar Hill Gang. I have done well for myself in the 2 years I've been doing so, and have purchased a 2023 Tacoma TRD Pro. Yeah, no new cars unless you're a millionaire, which unless you would have had to sell a lot of cars to be a millionaire by now. I own some dirt bikes. Oh, 33K on my truck. I have an emergency fund of 10K and 5K in my, of 10K and 5K in my 401K. Okay, so you're doing it wrong. You're investing. You have an emergency fund when you have debt. You shouldn't have a full emergency fund. Your emergency fund should be $1,000 while you have debt. So if these are your only debt, 10K goes to pay off the dirt bikes, and then you throw 4 on the truck, and you decide if you want to keep it, a 2023 brand new truck, you should probably do it. Payments are not an issue. Yeah, I can afford the payment, doesn't mean you can afford it. But my life changed drastically in the last 1 month. I'm no longer in the relationship I thought I would be in for a very long time, if not forever. The goal overall would be to purchase a house next. Today I could sell my truck for 48K, right? Do that. Yes, do it. Do it. The Emperor. At a loss of about 12K from the purchase price. Yeah, that money's gone whether you sell it or not, dog. So, I mean, you still get over the amount you owe. So you can sell it. You're not underwater on it. Do it now. The whole value extremely well, but has dropped primarily well. It doesn't matter. That's how it works. That's how cars work. New body style coming out in a month ago. Okay, we don't care. We know you sell cars. We know you know about this stuff. I don't care. I don't care about cars at all. Cut my losses now, or cut your losses now. You don't need that much truck to do what? To sell cars? What do you need that truck for? Get a cheap car, sell it and get a cheap car. I mean, you can get a $10,000 car. And if you sell cars, you should know where you can get a great 10K car. Alrighty. So what would I do in your shoes? I would look at the name of the subreddit, and I would Google him, and I would follow his advice. You Munges lifers, how's it going? 5 check for those on the baby steps, not on the BS, on the baby step, for 5+ years and 25 words or less. Where were you when you started, and where are you now? In a rough place, and where I am now is much, much better. Willie Dog 15. How many people responded? 53 comments. Cool. sharing experiences. Willie Dog 15, what should I do next? Well, maybe refer to the steps. They are in numerical order for your convenience. So you don't have to figure out which one. Oh, they're ordered like this, but there's no numbers. Should I do the bottom one first? Now they're numbered for your convenience. 35 man, make about 200K a year running my own business. It will probably go on next year and will continue to. Well, that would be the plan usually. And congratulations on that, and hopefully it does. I have 300K in a high yield savings account and a decent amount of cash. Live with my girlfriend, Dave does not advise, who owns her house. My rent is $600 a month. I drive a business truck that paid off, and my business has zero debt. Excellent. Have zero debt, no kids, and don't want any. All right, minimum expense. What is the problem? Except that you're living with someone you're not married to. Minimum expenses, but I splurging on €2 trips a year, mostly played with High Point. So if it's paid by points, it means you're still using credit cards too. So even though you don't think you have debt the second you buy something on the card before you pay it off. That's debt. 42, I'd like to move abroad and not retire, but just make enough money living while I don't really know what my next steps are to set up myself up for the future. I'm not interested in real estate. Well, it would be mutual funds once you're at the place where you would do investing. But, you know, first you would address the cards and get rid of them if you're going to follow Dave's advice. But mutual funds for investing is the short answer. And you can invest in mutual funds even if you do it per Dave's advice or not. Hippie Gnome 420 finally out of debt. I'm adding words. Finally out of, normally I just correct them. Finally out of debt, but now with no income and no prospects. What to do now? Get prospects and income, not necessarily in that order. You can get income first. So you got to get another job today. Cold margins 99. See there's a thing they call the baby steps that you're trying to do theoretically if you're on that subreddit, or if you say you're following the baby steps. And so this is the thing that you're trying to do, but look at what all this takes. Every single step of this takes money to do. So you got to have an income. If you don't have an income, the baby steps don't work. You got to have an income to do that. And so get an income coming in. That's why they call it an income. Cold margins 99. Does manual overriding result in a higher interest rate on a mortgage? I have not had a manual underwriting mortgage, but my pal Sid says no, hers was not. Delta Pat. Sell new car for used one and start paying debt. Generally, yeah. You just bought a brand Acura 2024. You just bought that thing. Oh my gosh. Gosh, if you had just held off a little longer on buying a new car, you would have had the idea, oh, maybe I should be smarter with money. And so, but you didn't, but you still can. Let's see, I bought the Acura 2 months ago and put a large down payment and only owe 18K remaining at 4.9. I had an epiphany over the month and would like to change my financial standing and start aggressively paying off loans. Yes, take the loss on it, and then because you're not underwater with it, under it, so you just take the loss on it with the down payment you put on there, and you could have had that. All that cash could have still been yours, and you could have bought a crappier car and not a new car. So yeah, you do that and start paying debt. Exactamundo. Figured it out. Congratulations. Dollar now. Haters gonna hate. That much is certain. Absolutely. Truly baffled by the amount of non-Ramsey Redditors who come in the Ramsey group just to trash the people trying to get help or get out of debt or build wealth using the Ramsey baby steps, or they troll in the Ramsey Show YouTube chat. Yeah, I don't understand anyway, except they're haters and they're gonna hate. So I don't know why it is. I don't know if it's because Dave is so successful and he has so much of a track record, millions of documented success stories, and again, documented, so he has proof of them, and no other financial advisor can even come close to him on that. And so maybe they just don't like it that he has so much success. And they think they're right, and so I don't know. Who knows? We'd have to ask a hater. Maybe we can find one day and ask them. Let's see. Oh, 311 comments, and this thread has been locked by moderators of r/Dave Ramsey. Yeah, so yeah, go find other groups who are good, living below our means, paying off all our debt, and building up wealth. And so, yeah, I've said before, I don't go into the debt leverage chat and troll in there. I don't do that. I let them do their thing, and I participate in what I believe in instead of going into somebody else's chat and saying anti whatever they're doing stuff. That would be the biggest waste of my time that I would think that could happen. So yeah, haters are gonna hate, and that's just it. And especially on the internet, that the internet's the perfect place for you to do that because there's almost no repercussions for it. I Love Rachel's children's book. It's the best book yet. I have not read it or seen it. I've seen like a couple pages of it that she showed, and it seems fine for a children's book and good message, absolutely. It's glad for what I have, and so that's teach you to be grateful and not being all, well, I want this and I want that and I want that. No statement 321. Seeking opinion. I have an opinion about it. So does Dave. And most of the time they're the same. He thought of it first, obviously. It's been several years since I took Dave's course so seeking opinions. Advice hasn't changed. So, basic rundown of situation: divorced, past Feb, 15 years, 4 kids. Closing on selling marital home today. Mortgage and car loans will be paid in full off the top. Excellent. My part of the disbursement, which I will receive tomorrow, should be about $40K. That's better than no disbursement and having debt to split when you divorce. Trust me. My outstanding debt will be a credit card at 10%K, or 10K. So pay that off immediately today with that 43, or tomorrow, which was 9 days ago. So hope you paid that off immediately. And the personal loan at 12K, 5K too. Then you don't have those payments anymore. Salaries around 50K annually, have no retirement or savings. You work on that slowly. First, you get out of debt. $1,000 emergency fund. If you don't have it, take that out of the 40K first. Then you pay off these debts. Should you use the 40K to pay off all debt, then go to step 3. Yes, you remember from the course, and it's still the same. Or put the 40K into savings and snowball the debts. And no, you can snowball the rest of the baby steps. You use the 40K to pay off all debt and then go to, again, you're trying to overthink it. Now, I overthink stuff, but I don't overthink this Ramsey stuff because I think his is the most common sense. And so it's like, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you get out of debt? Especially if you're following the baby steps, and baby step 2 says pay off all debt first, before it says to save the full emergency fund, before it says to invest, before it says to save more than $1,000. So yes, you remember, you're just trying to outthink yourself or something. How much should I put into my 401k? If you are out of debt and you have a full emergency fund, which are baby steps 2 and 3, then you move on to step 4, which is pay 15% of household income. Not pay, but invest 15% of household income into retirement. How much should I put in 401k? I'm at my first corporate job. My company matches 10%. That's a great 10%. That's a great match. Matches gravy on the biscuit, as I've said. Which means if you're not from the South, maybe you don't know what that means. That means extra. I make $80K a year and have monthly expenses that add up to $2,500 to $3,000 a month. Currently, I have my 401k set to 10%, but I can increase it to more, increase it to 15%. I do have a little left each month, but I tend to put some in a high yield, just one yield, savings account for easy access. Thinking about getting a Roth IRA, but should I just increase my 401k contribution first? No, the thing would be match, and then max out Roth IRA, and then go back to 401k. You could if you can do a Roth 401k, that's what you should do, but not all employers offer that. It's match, Roth, and then traditional. Hufflepuff Girl 62442. Baby step 4 flare. What up, Lance? Didn't see ya. Sorry about that if I missed you. What time was that? Oh, you're still here, I think. Yeah, 10% matches. Awesome, isn't it? Boom, 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 boom. Coach, yeah, I'm not Coach Sid. I'm Coach Steve. Coach Sid, she could be a coach. I mean, she knows all about the Ramsey stuff. The haters are secretly the banks. You think so? Maybe. But yeah, 10%. 10% match is fabulous. But again, Dave wants you to have 15% skin in the game. And so that is just extra. And so that just ensures that you're very lucky to get that. And that just ensures that you will even have that much better of a retirement. Oh, let's see. Did I do that already? Oh, started a new baby step 4 volunteer retirement 413, but it was 5457B. Started a new job a couple months ago that offers a voluntary retirement plan with 2 options, a 403B and a 457B with both pre-tax and Roth options. Always is going to be Roth. I've already enrolled in the mandatory pension plan. Oh, and that's in addition to these. Okay, so yeah, the mandatory pension plan, the contributions to that would be count as half because the pension plan is not as good as other investments. Pensions just don't make as much. I'm not sure if I should go with the 403B or 457B or a regular Roth IRA. You can do Roth 403B or 457B, whichever one you want. Do the Roth version of that, and then you can do all of your investing in that because you already have the Roth magic working for you there. And Roth simply means that you're paying taxes on the contributions out of each check, but then out of that small amount out of each check, but then when you retire, you are not paying anything on the growth. So how about that? And that's the reason Dave recommends that. But so you wouldn't need that, but you can have a Roth 403B or 457B and a Roth IRA as well if you have enough money to put in them that you need that much. If you max out the 403B or 457B and then still have enough money or you need to invest more money to make your 15%, which I don't think so, since you also would be counting half the percentage that you're putting into your pension plan as well. So you probably don't need it. The Roth IRA, basically, you would just go to if you didn't have the Roth option at work. So, but if you have the Roth option at work, it's fine to match to invest in that totally, to max that out over the year. And if it gets if it gets to the end of the year before you're maxed out already on your work plan, then you can open a personal Roth IRA and max that out for the year as well if you can. But you don't invest more. Again, you don't invest more and not pay off the house, for example, or start to address kid college if you do want to help. Bri 3 Bex, or Bri for Brittany maybe, or something like that. 827. Baby step 2, moving on up to baby step 3. Well, we're moving on up to the east side. Came here to share with the Dave Ramsey community my success this year. I started listening to Dave on 1/31/23. Excellent. By April, I paid off my car and resumed my student loan debt payoff. By July, I sold my beloved Jeep Wrangler, and yesterday made the final payment on my student loans for a total debt payoff this year of $70,007.48. I get to move on to baby step 3. Excellent. And for that, you get a little bit of the Price is Right winning theme. All right. Congratulations, Bri or Bri. No, I saw the word debt. Gotta stop that. Gotta stop the fun music. All right. Learning Finance 1. Baby step 2, Flair Man 28. Paying off $700K in debt. That's not update 2. We survived Christmas. Is this on the house? The one that posted before? Wife and I are officially closing out our first month of our debt-free journey, and the results are in. December, 21.7K aggregate debt. It's not aggregate debt, it's just our debt when you're married. Beating our target of 20K by nearly 10%. Excellent. And that does happen a lot of times, most times, as a matter of fact. People do get out of debt faster than they project they can. It was mentally challenging to cut back on a holiday spend and live on rice and beans. Yep, but we did it. We did it. We did it. Oh, Seema, we did it. That's Dora the Explorer. Surprisingly, we found this simple Christmas to be rather special and a good lesson on the insignificance of material junk, right? I made us a nifty little debt dashboard with pie charts and cash flow monitoring. What a nerd. Cool. Which I love nerds, of course, which I very much look forward to updating every payday. Thank you to all following along and lending encouragement. When we're not lending it, you don't have to pay it back. So we're just giving it. No debt involved with the encouragement. That's excellent, though. So that's another one. That could be a do. All right. Bees between knees. Interesting. Baby step 2, Flair, retirement contributions. And baby step 2. And that would be a negatory, good buddy. Those two do not go together. Question, should I stop my retirement contributions? You said baby step 2, so the answer is yes, no matter what the if is. And that's the beauty of the Ramsey plan, because if you say, should I not do it like Dave says to do it, if this, and 99.9% it's not. Now, if you have an emergency, you're still not changing the order, you're just pausing the baby steps. So, but there's never, even if the interest, even if this, even if that. Let's see, if I'm trying to eliminate debt, even if my employer, even if, 2 ifs in there. If I'm trying to eliminate debt, even if my employer matches 7%. Yes, I got a great idea for you. Kick butt on baby step 2 and then baby step 3, and then you'll be able to get that 7%. So there you go. So none of your life matters, none of the background info. None of the amounts of debt, none of that stuff matters. None of it. So either you don't want to follow the baby steps correctly, or you can do your own thing since it's your life and your money. Another one, a third one from on this stream from Modern, I'm assuming that's Modern Warfare 2 Playa. That snowball question, and Modern Warfare 2 Playa, in the first question, I thought he had a pretty good handle on the baby steps. On the second one, I thought he didn't understand it at all. So let's see. So this is an even newer one. At timestamp 7 minutes, Rachel says to stay current on all payments. Does this mean I should pay the minimum balance on my credit cards while working the debt snowball? Yes. Otherwise, they'll be past due, and you can have late fees on them as well, and then you'll be even more in debt. Yes, you make minimums on everything else. You make, as a matter of fact, the wording on baby step 2 is you pay the minimums. That's what it starts with. You pay the minimums on all the cards, and then any extra you have out of your budget, that gets put onto the lowest amount, not the lowest payment. That we thought we had somebody earlier question that thought it was the lowest to smallest to largest payment amount that you are paying off in order. No, not the payment amount, the total debt. So yes, you do stay current. Baby step 0 is you get current even before you save the $1,000 emergency fund. You get current as part of baby step 0. And yes, you do pay minimums on everything. Not just credit cards, but every kind of loan, every kind of everything you pay minimums on forever until they are paid off, of course. Jim Wilberforce, what's the plan if the whole country goes off a financial cliff in 2024? If that happens, if it actually goes off a financial cliff in 2024, money might not be your biggest problem. You might have other problems than that. So I don't know what you would be asking. Only chest opener. Been budgeter all my life and perfect sense, lots of wisdom. Instead, I did this. Only chest opened a credit card a year ago to help get my credit up. Why? Shocked when I'm listening to Dave and driving to work, and he responds with something flippant and rude to some caller who probably asked a dumb question or something. Well, if they ask a dumb question, maybe it was warranted. It is his show. His name is on it. He is the owner of the company. That gives him carte blanche to say whatever he would like to say. Let's see. Ramsey was suggesting something asking the lines of borrow someone else's money. It involved a loan. Yeah, I don't know what he would be talking about there. You got angry, slammed the power button. Why? And then sat there and tried to understand what I was angry at. I think it's this. The current financial system we're in has got to be close to the end. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Good sir. Look at this War and Peace here. I'm not reading all this crap, but I got a great idea. What I think the problem is here. I would advise you to not watch the freaking news anymore. I think you're watching too much news. Because guess what they talk about all the time? Oh, this is going to be a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. Bad news sells, so that's what they talk about. Alrighty. How is the Xander insurance experience, Rhinoceros Jockey? Is it as poor as the Smart Vista Pro experience? I've not used Xander, and so I don't know. Xander, I think, is an old friend of Dave's, and he's used that company for a long time. Smart Vesta Pros are people, his team vets. And unfortunately, the Smart Vesta Pros, they can say the right thing to get the recommendations, and then they can go off the ranch. So they could say all the right things during the vetting and start getting referrals, and then when you come in, they can try to sell your whole life. And so that can happen. So if that does happen to you, definitely call and let Ramsey know. You can call the customer care line. let them know about that, and they can get that person removed from the references. But unless somebody calls them and tells them, they're not going to know. But Xander, I think that would happen less so, again, because it's a company that's been in business a very, very long time. It's not just a SmartVestor Pro that recently got vetted and started getting referrals. It's been in business a very long time. Dave knows the owner personally, and so I would think that they would be much better. You'd have a much better chance of being taken care of correctly there. Imberg Baller. Pay off mortgage or invest in retirement? Both if you can. I'm a government worker with a 20-year retirement program out in DC. My wife and I just bought our first house, 400K, 6.5, 10% down. So you're paying PMI as well. DC is no joke with the prices. The DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, that little corner over there that all of them touch, you're talking some money there. So no other debt. That's fortunate. We make enough to max out our retirement, TSP. Okay, so military problem, but we don't know. So, but if you're in the military, you shouldn't be buying a freaking house because they could move you at any time. But don't know if we should do that or use that money to pay off our house faster. Which option makes the most sense? It is don't max it out necessarily, but do 15% of gross household income. And also with anything left over, pay off the house itself. That's how it works. That's go back to these steps. Step 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time. So if 6 doesn't apply, 5 doesn't apply to you, you just skip it. And so you're doing 4 and 6 at the same time. First, you're doing 15% of household income, which a lot of people think 15% of husband, 15% of wife equals 30%. No, 15% of husband, 15% of wife equals 15% of household income, because household is both people's incomes. So 1 plus 1 equals both. And so you would do 15% of your household income into retirement, and any other leftover money you have each month, that goes to paying off the home early. So you do both. But yeah, you don't stop the investing to pay off the house early. Or invest more to not pay off the house early, because that, my friend, is what we call debt leverage. And I know a gentleman that doesn't take to that kindly. His name is Dave Ramsey. BP06, baby step 3, emergency fund. What about it? Used to have the entire Ramsey Solution program through my employer, but they recently discontinued as a benefit. Well, excellent. You know what? You can still do it. So hopefully you're still doing it. Do still have the every dollar budget app, but it's been a while since I watched the videos for the baby steps. Since I've been on baby step 2 for a little bit, I'm about to be complete with paying off all my debt. Excellent. Looking ahead to someone was, when building the 3 to 6 months emergency fund, do I count everything, bills and my spending, groceries, gas, entertainment, or just my bills? Anything that's necessary. So like if there was an emergency, you wouldn't be spending money on entertainment. If there was an emergency, you wouldn't be investing. So you don't include that money. You do include groceries, still got to eat. You do include gas, still have to drive to work. And you still need utilities. So electric, you still need anything that you still need while you're in emergency mode. You would count as the emergency fund, but you do not count investing for that or fund money or anything like that that's not necessary. Only necessities in the emergency fund and necessity expenses. Strato Sean 123, and again, I won't come down on you if you include internet in that, because I mean that's the utility just like electricity. To me, Strato Sean 123, should we sell our home? Let's see where it is. 2,300. Guaranteed take-home pay is around 6,000 per month. Bonuses monthly, consistently bringing another 1 to 2K in bonuses. So realistically, I bring them about 7,500 a month after tax on average. The real problem here is our interest rate, which ballooned up to 7.5 during a home buying process. Well, I mean, you could have stopped at any time. We also bought less than 2 years ago, so I believe we will owe taxes, which, yep. Hey, taxes happen. Hate to give up the house, but we can rent houses in our exact neighborhood for 1,700 to 1,800. Yep. I mean, you pay a price for buying a house. I mean, you do get the equity, which pays off in the long run, but if you can't afford it, you shouldn't afford it. Let's just pretend your take-home pay is just $6,000 a month. 6,000, and 25% of that would be what, 1,500? Yeah, so that would be 1,500 for that. So if we're gonna pretend like you make 7,500 in a post like this, I could see somebody easily upping that so he doesn't get static for buying the too much house. So 7,500. So half of that would be what? 3,500 and 250. 3,750 is half of that, and half of that. No, yeah, and half of that is was 3,750. That's still 1,800. So yeah, so it's still not going to be, that's still too much house for your income. So you say we, so if we have an income, that income should be included. If we don't have an income and you are the only one that's working, yeah, it's not. We really don't plan on here staying long enough for a refi to make a ton of sense. Why the crap did you buy it then? That was pretty dumb. So we were starting to come around to the idea of cutting the cord. We would use the money we get from the home to pay off the car loans. And you have car loans too? You shouldn't have bought the house. I mean, I know it doesn't say it here, but pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. And you do that before you even have an emergency fund, which you definitely should have before you even start saving for a down payment to buy a house. So you're doing it wrong, sir. Or madam. If it's Sean, I assume it's a man. Positive swinging. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You can't afford it. Even if you sell the cars. I mean, it might make it a little bit better, but just on your income alone, if your numbers are right, even the 7,500 a month, you can afford that 2,300 payment because it's slightly too much. So, I mean, for that, you would have to have, what is that, 2.5? 2.5? No, that's the wrong, I'm thinking of the wrong formula. That's the amount of mortgage, total mortgage you can have is 2.5 times your take-home pay. Home mortgage, endless one summer. Home mortgage would appreciate any advice on my mortgage. Well, that would be to follow baby steps. Pay it off if you're on step 6. Pay it off early. Divorce, single income, fully support 3 kids, supposed to receive child support monthly, which I don't consistently get unless the state can find money to garnish the father. All right, I currently have, well, I mean, you can't count it then. You can't count on it. I currently have money the state found to support my house payment for 8 months, okay? Have to live as if I will not receive another payment, so here's my situation. Yep, so you can't count on that. Right, exactly. You have to budget on your income. So, unfortunately, it might be sell the house. My monthly post-tax wages are $4,100, mortgage tax $2,240, and again, that's going to be a negatory good buddy on the That's half. That's over half. I have no debt. Well, that's great. That's one lucky thing. Bills and necessities run about additional $2,000. That's it. You're already over budget. You're already over budget. So how are you making it work? Without child support, which I cannot rely on, right? I'm short every month. Yeah, you're going to have to cut some expenses. Find out which necessities aren't really necessities, if there are any. Otherwise, I mean, you got to make changes somehow. You can't keep you being in running short. Biggest payment is my home, but I don't know if I can rent for too much cheaper. Yeah, maybe not. You gotta. You can. You might not be able to get as big a place as you want. It might have to be an apartment, and with 3 kids, that's gonna suck. But there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. I would cash out now or be tight for another 14 years. Cash is what? Yeah. Yeah. You should. I mean, definitely look at places you can, something that would be not accessible, but something acceptable, because it's probably not going to be great, but something that is workable and not a complete dump. So look for that. I don't know about the area, but if it's a high cost of living area, you may have to bounce out of there. So yeah, you can't. So if you currently have money the state found to support my house payment for 8 months, then yeah, you need to save that money and make that money go as far as you can. So like, don't spend it on fun stuff or anything like that. Make sure you're using that for something. Maybe that can sustain you until for a little while, even until you figure out if there's something you can do. Other things you can cut out, or stuff you can sell, or something you can do to bring in more income. With 3 kids, I'm sure it's rough. Specialist -load -674. Pay off mortgage or invest. I see where it says here, step 4 is invest 15% of your household income into retirement. I see here it says pay off your home early. It doesn't say pay off your home early unless you want to invest more because you have a low interest rate. It does not say that on there. So, see, they always want to bring in my interest rate is 3.87. No other debt besides truck lease. Stupid me. Yeah, so you're doing it wrong. You're doing it all wrong. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we think you should do, because probably most of us on this subreddit think you should follow Dave's advice, and you're not doing any of it by having a freaking truck lease and thinking about paying off mortgage or investing. So you're doing it wrong, so feel free to do it wrong. What are you all doing for a living? I recently got back into listening to the show podcast. I hear a lot of people say they make somewhere either close to or over the 100K annual income. Nobody reacts to that being a good income. I think everybody knows that should be a good income, but Dave's not surprised to hear that. That's not a surprise to hear that on the Ramsey show. And a lot of people think that, see, the problem is all the poor people listening to it are comparing it to their expenses. But guess what? If people make 100K, they are doing the same kind of stupid stuff at the same percentage you're doing stupid stuff, but their percentage is times 100K and your percentage is times 30K or whatever it is that you're making, or this person making 45. So 400K seems unfathomable to me. Just because you can't reach it doesn't mean other people can't. Yet it seems completely normal to the internet. Yeah, because people make that much money. It's true. They do. What are y'all doing for a career that makes that much? What do I need to do? Start heading that directions? Yeah. I'm so good at living on 30K that even if I could get up to 60, I feel my life could be drastically improved. Sure could. 798 comments and not gotten contentious enough to lock down by the moderators of this fine subreddit. So yeah, but 100K happens, and they get quite a lot of calls and quite a lot of debt-free screens, people making 100K, but guess what? They have more debt. Because they're doing stupid times the 100K. They're doing the stupid percentage times the 100K, and you're doing the stupid percentage times the amount that you make. And so your problem is you're applying, again, the 100K to your 45K problems, your 45K stupid tax. And 100K stupid tax is more than the 45K stupid tax. Almost always. Code margins, 99. Dave Ramsey right about VA loans. Yes, they have ever, they don't have better interest rates than conventional loans. And also you have to pay like their version of PMI. You have to pay that forever. You can't get out of it. There's an extra thing. A lot of people like to do the VA because they have, like it's easier for them to get qualified for that if they're a vet. But yeah, there are plenty of downsides to that as well. So Dave does not recommend. Now, if you're a disabled vet, I think that they waive that extra fee. So that could come into play there. For your own personal decision, but in general, Dave does not like those. Insight Discern, a frequent, what is it called? The Dave Ramsey subreddit. Forgot for a second. Hashtag dementia. Oh my! I've gone over 2 hours now. Oh my goodness gracious! I must love hearing myself talk. Insight Discern, like I said, frequent Dave Ramsey subreddit poster here. Let's see, big monthly non-debt expensive and mortgage recast. Dave Ramsey talks a lot about removing all your debt so you don't have any payments, giving you power over your biggest wealth building tool, your income, but he wants you to pay it off, not taking a loan, extra loan on the house, like a HELOC, to pay them off. Then talk to you about big monthly expenses not related to debt that you should also reduce to give you more cash flow in your budget. Of course he does. You reduce whatever you can. For me, that's $14 a month child support payment that will go away in 4 years, okay? $14 a month for daycare that will decrease to $350 in 3 years, okay? I'm waiting to see what the point is here. $600 a month in another daycare, okay? $600 a month in private school tuition. That will stop next July when my kid graduates middle school. I'm guessing this might be a spouse with a grudge, maybe. Also been thinking that when I'm in baby step 6 and I pay down my $770K mortgage enough, I'll recast my mortgage. Why? However, I'm in it for the long haul, and I did some calculations. It would drop my mortgage from $4,500 to $3,100 if I pay down my mortgage enough, freeing up more monthly cash, but it's not free to recast it. There's a fee on top of that. It would also take me from 32% of my monthly take home to 20%, which is less than the 25% he recommends. Yeah, but what's the fee for you to do that though? So you got to think about that too. You got to look at the whole entire picture rather than just this one little bit. Just like the stock market, you don't think about, as far as investing, you don't think about just the last 5 days, which is down. You think about the longevity of it, the whole 30 or so years that you're going to be investing instead. So let's see, of course, it'd still pay off principal quickly, but at least if I needed the money for something else, it's a no, dog. It's a no for me, dog. So on big his ideas on big non-debt monthly expenses. Child support is court ordered. Daycare might be court ordered as well. The other daycare might be court ordered as well. The private school tuition is either a decision that was made by you and other parent, or that was also court ordered. And if it's court ordered, there's nothing to have a Dave Ramsey idea about it, because it's not going anywhere until it goes somewhere, like you said, in the ways that you said. When they get older and they're not in daycare anymore, then you don't have to pay it. But I don't know what you mean. A while ago, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and this is the gentleman that said that, let's see, he said by May of 2023, let's see, and he said it 6 months before, so that would be 5. So he said it in November of 22. He said that by May of 23, the market would be down 80%. And instead, it was up quite a bit. So I wouldn't listen to anything that he has to say. I mean, it's dumb even speculating that, oh, it's probably going to go down a little bit. That's even dumb enough. But to say it's down by 80%, stupid. So that's stupid. And his big thing was decrease expenses as much as possible and increase assets or income. Yeah. But the problem is, let's see, do you have only the house debt, or did you have any other? I get these mixed up sometimes. Sounds like he only has that, but just pay it off instead of, why do you need to try to make it, like I said, you may end up paying more money depending on how much they charge you for the recast. So you know what? If Dave doesn't like it, there's a reason. Find out exactly what his reason for not liking it is. And I'm sure that's in the show. I'm sure you can Google that. Do a YouTube search for it. He might even talk about it. Or just in general, Google recast pros and cons and read them, and then you can decide it's your money. But Dave says no, apparently. So I trust Dave Ramsey advice more than Kiyosaki's. That is right. That is wise. But that main point just makes much sense to me. What? And his big thing is we decrease expenses as much as possible and increase assets or income. Yeah, but you can't decrease expenses that are court ordered, dummy. Gosh, that's so stupid. I don't see how you're not getting out of that. It was either a parent decision, and now you're locked into it, unless you want to fight with this ex-spouse about it. Sounds like, and there could be more than one ex-spouse. Or it might, maybe not a spouse, maybe a baby mama. Who knows? We don't know the exact situation, but generally those things you were talking about are court ordered, and so you're just dumb for asking the question. It's court ordered. You have to do it. You cannot get out of it. Alrighty. Just raise my, what is that called? Hackles or something like that. I don't know. Question about Baby Step 1. Alien 2024. That'd be a good movie. I understand the basic concept of the baby steps. Oh, great. Trying to change your mindset on the use of debt. But this is still, the buts are always the same as the even ifs. Even if nothing, there's not going to be anything that you say that is going to change the advice. So I'm still not understanding why you save up anything before hitting the debt step 2. It's so if you have an emergency, you don't have to put it on a freaking credit card so you can cover a small emergency. Is why you have the baby step 1. That's the question, and that's the answer. So the emergency fund is where if something goes wrong. Well, what if it doesn't? Then you have that $1,000 forever, and that's fine. And the explanation is you don't want to put yourself deeper, right? Well, yep. But if I skip step 1 at the same time, it would take me, right, but you don't know that nothing is coming up. So it's insurance for something coming up. So let's see, if I save and I have to use it for emergency, then I have to save it back up, right? Or instead of saving back up, I can pay on the card again, right? And if you understand the basic concepts, I don't think you do, because it's not to use a freaking debt card. It's not to use debt, not to use credit. Baby step 0 is deciding you're not going to do that stupid crap anymore. My goodness. I can't remember. It's something raise your hackles or something like that. Really choose what up, Lynn? Lynn's is back. She says, that's what pisses me off. If they're so clever to get hired, at that pay, they should be clever enough to pull their finances together. They're just human. You know what? And guess what? Some of them are not that clever. Some of them just lucked into it or happened to be at the right place at the right time. But some of them are clever about it, and they're clever enough to get that amount of pay, but they're not clever enough to figure out what's stupid with money. And so I assure you, they do the same amount of stupid percentage-wise. And so that's why you can't compare your debt to somebody that makes that much money. Now, granted, if they are pretty smart and they kept the debt to the same minimum that a lower income person did, that's obviously better, and they can get through baby step 2 much faster with that high income, known as a big shovel. Shakes fist. Yeah, shakes fist. HELOC question. Home equity line of credit is what that stands for, and that is a negatory good buddy from Uncle Dave. I'm done with baby step 2. I have a HELOC. Already has it. Okay. That's between the tote of my annual pay or less. Okay. I'm commission. Should I tackle the HELOC or tack it on to the end of my baby step? Single mom, 2, age 11 and 7 with no child support. Goals are put aside money for my kids' college, save for retirement, and pay off the home. None of that stuff before that HELOC is paid off. I have about $1 million in equity, and my mortgage is for $70K. So that's a $1.47 million house. My retirement is $200K. Thanks in advance for your advice. Well, if you cannot pay that HELOC off in 2 years, hopefully that's the only debt you have. Yeah, so it's not, if you have a big debt like a HELOC, you can just skip it and go on to the next baby steps. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So you have a mortgage and the HELOC, and so yeah, you might need to sell the house. The retirement you don't want to touch because penalties and taxes on that. So if you have any other investments that aren't in a retirement account, you would cash those. Look around that expensive freaking house and see what you have that you aren't using regularly and sell that crap and pay that HELOC off. So that is just crazy. $470K mortgage. So using my pal Sid's formula, that is a rough estimate of what you can get to have your mortgage payment be 25% of your take-home pay. It is 2.5 times your bring-home pay. So for that, it would have to be, or 2.5 rather. So that would be, screw it. Been talking a long time. My brain is mush. Got mad about the people being stupid. 4.70 divided by 2.5. I'm using my Windows calculator here. So she has to be making $188,000 a year. If she is not making $188,000 a year, then that's too much house for her. I mean, I understand if it's a little bit, if it's 150, I'll give you a break, especially if you bought it before you found out about Dave. And if you really like it, you can keep it, but you're going to have to sacrifice somewhere. Either sacrifice the house or elsewhere. and you pay that off. Alrighty, not a skeleton. Which debt should I pay off first? I know the debt snowball says. I know it says this, but what about me and my little situation, or with the if I'm gonna throw here, which doesn't make any difference. I know the debt snowball says to pay off your smallest debt first, but here is my situation. My smallest debt is a 10K personal line of credit. My next smallest debt is my car loan at 31K, then my student loan at 35K, and lastly my mortgage at 250K. However, for the student loan, it's broken in two parts, 8K with interest and 27K at zero interest. But you can't pay off the 8K unless you pay it off in a lump sum. They don't accept monthly payments. Then you save it up. You can save it up if it takes you a little while. You can put it in probably a high yield savings account. Won't make a difference, but you could do that. Also, I mean, the 10%, I mean, the 10K personal line of credit is close enough to that, where if you wanted to knock out that first, but then the 27K is going to come before the 31K, and there's not a thing that's going to happen with that, because that's still going to be 27K. Oh, well, you're still making minimums on that, so that could eventually get lower than the car. I don't know, and so if it is, then you can do that one first. But I mean, if you want to follow Dave's advice, it's smallest to largest, and so you would just save up that 8K, and you can make if you have an interest-bearing savings or checking account, you can have that money in there until you get the 8K, and you pay it off in a lump sum. So does it make sense to save 8K first? Yes. Or keep it combined with the rest of the student loan and pay it off third. I mean, I wouldn't hate you for that if you did that, if you considered it like a 35K. I mean, the idea is that you pay off smaller stuff and you do that quicker and you get more wins. So that's where Dave's coming out on that. But I wouldn't hate you if you like put them both together and had them be 35, and then when it got to it, you paid off the 8K first. Once it got to that, yeah, then my student loan at 35K, so broken into two parts. So I don't know if that's two loans or not. So who knows? So I mean, as long as you're not, let's see, for Roman's household income is about 140K. Well, what is your, again, 140K? Lens, 140K. Household income. And what is that? 10, 30. You know what you can do? I got a great idea. Sell the car. Sell the car. Then you'd have more money to put at this stuff. Then you'd have the money immediately to pay off that 8K. Yes, I figured it out, dude. Figured it out. Figured it out. They don't certify just anybody. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well, I guess I can probably be done anyway. Oh, my goodness. 6:38. It's been 2.5 hours anyway. Okay, so I guess I will. This person's so glad did Dave's plan. Excellent. Alrighty, so I guess that'll be it for the night. 2.5 hours of Ramsey goodness. And I guess after 2.5 hours, I guess that explains why I was getting frustrated with dumb people making dumb decisions, which I've done several of myself. But while I was doing that, I wasn't going into the guy that has all the answers and all the advice. I wasn't going into a subreddit about him that has his name on it and saying, should I do this? I was just stupidly doing it without thinking too much about it to begin with. So I wasn't taking the time to ask, well, should I do this? I know he says to do this. So if he says to do this and you're bothering to go into a subreddit with his name on it, why wouldn't you do it? I just don't get it. Alrighty, once again, Coach Steve Money. And if you want more of this kind of stuff, it's the Ramsey Coach. There's a whole playlist there. And below that is the music playlist where I have like 8 or 9 Ramsey adjacent songs there. So check those out. The Ramsey Show After Show, there are 361 of those, and I used to be able to do those for I think a year and a half or so. I was able to do those for every day after the Ramsey Show, but now I can only do 1 or 2 a month. And so those are few and far between now, which is why I started doing Ramsey Coach on Saturday nights. And I think I may add an additional night because there seem to be plenty of questions for me to freak out about. Alrighty, so, and yeah, channel's growing, 737 subscribers. I've got 1.1 thousand videos on here and live streams. I do a whole bunch of stuff. Most of the subscribers and views and stuff are from Curse of Oak Island stuff. But I do video game streamings as well. Let's see if there's anything different besides financial and video game. No, that's all that's on here in the past live streams, but I have done other things before. What else we got? Computer stuff, which all of this is there's some stuff here like when my son got Starfield, it wasn't working correctly because Bethesda didn't make it correctly, and so there were some like fixes and stuff and new graphics for our Intel Arc A750 cards, new drivers when they would come out. Some of them would make it better, some of them would break the game more. I tried this demo where the graphics would totally fail on all kinds of video cards. EA Sports, Madden, there was a glitch on there, and I showed how to fix that. I have a highlights channel. I addressed the 8% versus 4%. Controversy, where the caller mischaracterized what George Camel said to Dave, and so he didn't tell Dave the right thing. And that guy apparently supposedly was a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach called Hopefield Coaching. And it sounded like, unless he was wanting to know about fixed income retire early and he was trying to learn how to coach fixed income retire people, well, Dave Ramsey doesn't recommend that you retire early. So, and he wouldn't recommend you do a thing where you have to only take out 4% because you haven't been investing long, which is the idea for that. And so he just doesn't advise it. And so that's why he doesn't want that crap on his channel. But George was just explaining what it was. And then in the next bit of it, right after he explained what he does, he says, but we don't recommend that you do that. And so I don't know if the caller just didn't. And so, well, now I ruined it, so you don't have to watch that video. But that's basically the deal on that. Alrighty. Oh, let's do the plugs again. Have to check that controversial video out. Yeah, I did one too also where I basically react to the money guy. There's 2 of them. Somehow it's called the money guy. I guess it's money guy and friend or money guy and assistant. I always thought it was the money guy since there were 2 of them, but they critique some Dave advice. And, and they're sitting there probably much like I am with this stuff. And they're like there and Dave is recommending stuff and they're going, and they're giving their take on it. And I just explained the difference between what Dave advises and why and what they're advising. And so that's in the, that's a pre-recorded video. That's not a live video though. So that would be under just the videos and not in the live videos playlist. That would be under, I think, just in the financial playlist as well. So yeah, so two kind of controversial things there, but not really because it doesn't matter. Apparently the money guys also, they were mean today or something like that, or they were really crappy. And there was a video that was up for a while, but now it's private. They made it private. I guess they got too much, couldn't take the heat from the internet maybe. So, or maybe realized that they were being stupid. I don't know why, but they put it down. So I didn't even get to see it. I just heard about it. But now I was going to watch it, and then it's private by the money guy. So again, not a recommendation for them because they are fine with debt leverage. And I think their advice, so a friend of mine told me from the Ramsey chat told me that, and I have yet to verify it, I haven't looked into it that much, but he says that the money guy says that you can use credit cards if you can be responsible with them. And so that's the problem. You're leaving it to the average human to take some time and figure out, because who says, oh, I know I can't handle credit cards, and then not use them? No, everybody's going to be like, oh, I should use those, and I'll use it, and I'll pay it off every month. Everybody says they'll pay it off every month, and then guess what? You don't pay it off every month. And then you get in trouble with it. And so how much time do you lose out of bettering yourself financially by trying to do that? So that's pretty dumb, if indeed that's their case. And so I won't say that's definitely true. I've talked about it a few times. I should probably verify that. Not that my friend would tell me stories about that, I don't think. If so, that was a pretty good troll job. Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me if you got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track. You can do that at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney, or you can just email me and we can work it out if you don't want to use the calendar system there, but you can schedule it on calendly.com if you would like. That is a video conferencing appointment, so you can do that from anywhere in the world, or if you have in the Andromeda Galaxy, if you have internet there and then it reaches my internet, then you can do it from there. Look forward to talking to you. I hope you have a English translation device. Email about coaching or anything on my YouTube channel, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney, or if you don't want to sign up for the PayPal, you can send me a Walmart gift card to PayPal. PayPal. Walmart gift card to CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Add me on the gram at CoachSteveMoney. And of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. Thank you so much for watching. The best way you can help me, if you want to help me other than monetarily, you can subscribe. You can like the videos. You can comment on the videos. And you can click the notification bell, and that'll tell you anytime I do a live stream, because most of them I don't announce. This show, Ramsey Coach, I usually say I'm going to do it from 8 p.m. Eastern. Last 2 weeks I started 30 minutes earlier, so I may push that back, or I may just start doing, because not that many people watch them live, but it's great to have live interactions. It's really great to do, so I probably will keep them live just for that. Even if it's only one person, it's still pretty cool to have live interactions during it. But I may move the time back a little bit earlier in the day on Sunday. Anything else? You got anything else, Lens? Any questions from yourself? I get a little bit of water. If you're watching this after the vac, you can just skim through this a little bit. If you see there's a lot more time left, then you can see, oh, Lens has no questions, so Alrighty, so you are very welcome. And yeah, I might start doing, like I said, I might start doing 2 days a week of this, and I will let people know in the Ramsey Show chat if I add an extra day. I don't know when that would be. Saturdays. It's Saturday today. That's when I do this, not Sundays. I don't know why I was thinking Sundays, because football's on both days. So maybe Sunday nights as well, perhaps. We'll see. We'll see about that. But for now, it's just Saturday nights and then other kinds of streams. Other times, and whenever I am off work, I will do a Ramsey Show after show that day. And the next one is Martin Luther King Day, which is Monday, January 15th is the next Ramsey Show after show. And that starts right after the Ramsey Show video on YouTube ends. Alrighty, anything else? Upcoming streams. I might play some more Tomb Raider later. Tomb Raider Legend from 2006. I might play some more of that. Curse of Oak Island, no cap recaps, and the preview for the next week's episode. Those both come out late Tuesday after the new episode of Curse of Oak Island. Alrighty. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And thank you to everybody that has done that already. It means the world to me. And I enjoy doing this so much. I will continue to do it even if I never get monetized, because I just love it so much. As you can tell, I like hearing myself talk. Okay, that's enough for tonight. Thanks, Lens. Appreciate the support, definitely. Thank you so much. And Anon. All right. And at the end, we say what's up there in the green banner there with my logo, developed by Christopher Pittman. And if you need logos from him, it's designed by Pittman. I'll type it in the chat. Let me type it right now. Logos designed by Pittman at gmail.com. Right, he designed my the logo right there and the banner up there at the top of the page, and also this where is it? This side. Gotta wait for it to show up. Yeah, it's this side right here. The Coach Steve Money logo right there, and the watermark right there. That's as well. He designed that, so definitely give him a call. I mean, email if you have any logo or branding needs. Perhaps he can help you out as well as he did me. Alrighty, and as we say, as is up in the banner, make smart financial decisions every day. And yes, I know every day is supposed to be 2 words. I never realized that was not correct. So I'll have him fix that for me one day. Alrighty. Thanks for watching.